I'm sorry if you hear my fan in the background, but I happen to live in the center of hell, and so I need it. It'd be a real long 3 hours and real wet 3 hours too. All right, so let's get to it here. So, folks, here we go, and welcome everybody. Who do we got? We got Jordan Maxwell's with us. Rascala, you with us?
I am.
All right, Michael, you here?
I am here.
All right. Well, Jordan, I welcome you and thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate
Well,
it.
thank you for inviting me. And I may not be all here, but I'm here. That's the main thing.
That is the main thing. So, Jordan, the world, or at least the country, for the sake of it, has gone to hell in a handbasket.
I know.
What's going on? I mean, where do you see
Well,
this
it's
going?
a communist takeover of America.
Right.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, most Americans don't know what a communist takeover until it's happened. And they're in prison, and they've got their mask on, and they're home, keeping away from all other humans. Then they finally figure out what's going on. But me, I don't care, because at 80 years old, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I've been looking at this for 60 years, and finally it's happened. I knew it was coming, and finally happened. So what can I tell you?
Yeah. It looks like if we're not careful, it's probably going to be the end of the country as we know it. And
That's right.
yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So
Is David Rabini with you?
no, I have Rascala Stevens and Michael Bajas is with me.
Okay. You know David Rabini?
I'm not familiar with him. I don't know if either of you guys are.
Okay. That's Art Bell's old producer.
Oh.
He's producing my new show. I got a new show starting tomorrow, I think. And I'm trying to get a hold of him to tell him I'm here, but I keep getting you. It says David Rabini, and I hit the button, it goes to you.
Really?
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. That's technology for you. But no, he's
Yeah.
not with me. So,
Whatever. But anyway, I'm here, so
yeah.
let's go on with it.
So, guys, before we get going, you guys got anything, anywhere you any direction you want to go before we're...
How
Steve?
about down?
Yeah.
You know, it's up to you kind of what direction. It's getting on to what's going on with the country. For me, I'm a person that has lupus SLE and sarcoidosis. So I don't know what to take on all this. I mean, I go down to the VA today and I can't even get through without an escort. When I first show up there, you walk on up there and where I used to go into the door is now sealed off. They put up walls just that fast. And I meet a lady who wants me to put on a mask, and I've already got an N95 mask because I'm not sure what to take of all this. And then I have somebody press the thing up to my forehead. They take my temperature. Then I go on over. I have to wash my hands. And I had to fight with her because she's like, well, put my mask over your mask. I said, your mask is crap. I have an SN95 or an N95 mask. I said, mine's 10 times better than yours. So I had to explain myself to her. And then they have two police officers there. And then you get escorted into a door, taken down a hallway through where the wall is, where they put up this wall. So there's no access to the hospital at all. And walk me right on into X-ray, and then there's two more people that meet me, and they walk me through and do my.
Well, now you know what it's like living in the Soviet Union, because that's where we are now. We're living in the communist center of the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little intrusive, and it's a little frustrating because,
It's going to get more frustrating when Americans wake up and find out there's been a communist overthrow of our government. And people don't know what a communist overthrow is because they never lived in the Soviet Union before, and it was old Russia. They don't know what it was like in the Soviet Union. Now you know what it was like in the Soviet Union. The very word Soviet, look it up in the dictionary, Soviet Union. The very word Soviet means a small group of people that were not elected to run the government. That's what the word Soviet Union means, Soviet. A small group of people that were not elected to run the government. That's what the word Soviet means. So that's why I'm saying we now have everybody running everything. And we have the Soviet Communist Party running the country, and little small pockets of Soviet communists telling us what we can do and what we can't do. And you got the cops going along with the Soviet takeover and the communists take over, and there's nothing we Americans can do. It's because we don't know nothing. We don't understand. We don't know. We don't understand nothing.
Yeah.
We're ignorant and ill-informed and uninformed, and it's terrible. But me, I've been trying to tell people for years. Nobody's listening.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rascala.
Well, I was just going to say I had a kind of a bizarre visit. I went to the VA hospital to get my blood checked because they're gonna give me a stress test here in a couple of days, next week sometime, I think it is.
Oh, those are fun.
And it was bizarre in the sense that I've never seen the hospital so empty. I pull in, and before you even get to the hospital, you stop and they check your temperature and they ask you questions like, do you have a sore throat? Have you felt uneasy? Have you been coughing? Yeah, No. Okay, go on. So I go on up to the parking lot. When I get to the parking lot, I am to text them from my car in the parking lot and tell them that I am here. And they respond with, okay, your provider is ready for you. Proceed to the main entrance. I go to where I thought I hadn't been there in a couple of months. I went to where the main entrance used to be, and it's all walled up. And you're walking between. It's almost like they're giving you a drunk test. You're walking between these cones in this little narrow path, and then you finally get into where you walk into the hospital. And there are two. There's normally no police officers, but now there are two police officers and somebody checking your ID when you get in. And then I walk in, and I have never seen it so barren in all my life.
That's what the millions of people that are dying from a loathsome disease.
Well, like Michael said, access to the main hospital? No, you're not getting it. You're only going where I happen to. Blood draw was on the first floor, so it was not a big deal. And there's big signs.
They're conditioning.
I think the only places I could go without being escorted.
They're conditioning people. They're getting, that's how you train a dog.
That's right. That's what I said. Soviet means a small group of people that are unelected that's running everything. That's where you go. Wherever you go in America, there's a small group of people that are running everything. That's what the word Soviet means. That's why it was called the Soviet Union, because it's Marxist communism. We are living under a Marxist communist new world order now. It's finally here.
Okay, so I have a question then. And of course I'm please don't ever take offense or anything, but here's my thing. Do you think that this could be possibly a bioweapon? Something that is making
Absolutely.
Oh, it is a bioweapon.
Yes, of course. I think so, yes. It's purposely being done to scare America so that they will get in line and do what they're told to do. When in the hell has the government ever told you to stay home and put a mask on and don't be around other people? 6 foot away from other humans and wear a mask and stay home and keep your mouth shut. That's America for you. We are now the communist Soviet Union. And that's what President Trump has been trying to fight, but he can't fight because he's too small. This is an ancient old new world order that's coming. And this is what the president knows, and he's trying to do something to stop America going full communist. But there's nothing he can do right now because it's a full communist country. And that's what we are today. We're all Marxist, Leninist, Soviet communists. And we have learned what to do and what not to do. We have to wear a mask and don't go to work. And maybe, hopefully, your country will collapse. And then the Soviet Communist Party that we call Democrats will take over the whole world. And now the entire world is going to be under a Soviet communist system. That's what's going on.
Well, yeah, I think they've done it in steps too. I mean, when we did our program last week, we talked about it, and there's like anywhere from 5 to 8 things that you do to kill a country.
Yeah.
You ruin the education.
That's right.
You go ahead and you take away the arms so they
That's
can't
right.
defend themselves.
That's right.
You go ahead and you take away the family time. You take away mom and dad, and so that now Burger King.
Yeah, but you have to put a smartphone in the place of it. So you get a smartphone, stay home, put your mask on, and we'll tell you what you can do and what you can't do. And you have to call and make an appointment with a small group of people, which is called a Soviet. And that's why today we're a United States. We're a Soviet Union. We're united. We're all Soviet communists today.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to see everything. I mean, Stephen, I listened to your show the one time, and I got to tell you, we feel the same way. I mean, you watch them take these steps. What can we do? What do we do to stop it?
Well, we should have stopped it when it started.
Yeah.
Back in 1945.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point, the only thing I see, I mean, I see bad things ahead. I see probably a civil war if this continues, and that's probably what they want.
That's
But
exactly what.
at the same time, I mean, how much can we put up with when you got the cops aren't doing anything? You got all these criminal governors and mayors who are bought and paid for. They've all been infiltrated. I mean,
Colombia.
Oh yeah, Columbia too. Absolutely. Yeah. McMasters. I mean, you got all these guys. I mean, I don't know. It's like these statues actually came alive and start running stuff. That's what they're.
That's right. Small group of people running government.
Yeah.
Soviet. That's what we are. The new Soviet Union. And if it's bad now, watch it. Watch what's going to happen in October. October is going to be the month that you will not forget forever. It's going to be a horrible, horrible, terrible thing that's going to happen to the earth in October. And it's on its way with us now. We haven't seen it. Well, Americans don't know. They have no idea in the world. What's going on is coming in October. So just remember, it was Jordan Maxwell that warned you about October.
What's going on in October?
You will see it's going to be horrible.
October
Right.
surprise, huh?
That's all I need. I need more horrible things to happen.
You
Well,
can't
good.
Any more detail than that?
Hold on just a minute. Yeah, pull the door. Close it.
I'm thinking comet is what I'm thinking. That because we already know.
It very well might be a comet. It very well might be a world war. Whatever it is going to affect the whole earth. It's going to be like 9/11 was for New York. October is going to be like 9/11 for the whole world. We're going to experience it all over the earth. Something terrible is coming for the earth. It's going to happen in October.
Do you know what this something is?
No, I don't. All I know is it's going to be worldwide.
I'm not trying to be smart. I'm trying to ask honest questions. What do you base it on?
I'm basing it on astrology.
So
The
something.
whole earth is going to go into Ophiuchus Scorpio. Scorpions are deadly. Scorpio, represented by a scorpion, is deadly. Deadly scorpions. And the exalted god over Scorpio is Mars. Mars was the god of war, because you take the M in Mars, turn it upside down, it becomes WAR, not MAR. So Mars was the god of war. And God, he is the exalted ruler of Ophiuchus Scorpio. And that's what we're going to be on October 1st in Ophiuchus Scorpio. And the whole world is going to feel Ophiuchus Scorpio. And on the exalted ruler of Ophiuchus Scorpio is going to be the god of war. So what I'm saying is it looks like there's going to be a world war in October, some kind of a catastrophe. I don't know what it is, but it's going to affect the whole entire earth. So that's it.
So, well, yeah, it makes sense. You know, I've been saying I think there was something much bigger to all this. That you know, a lot of times, you know, when you see chaos like this kicking up, there's a reason for it.
That's right.
Yeah.
There is a reason, and the reason is Ophiuchus Scorpio. You see, there are 12 signs in the zodiac, but there's one more that nobody knows about. It's called Ophiuchus. There's 12 signs in the zodiac. Add one more, is called Ophiuchus. Ophiuchus is very, very, very severe. Well, if it's very severe, and the god who's leading it is Mars, the god of war, then that means there's going to be some terrible, very, very, very terrible event is going to hit the world in October. Just remember I told you October, and remember who said it. Remember it was me.
I will remember.
Because nobody else is telling you about Ophiuchus.
No, this is the first I've heard about it. And
well, stick around. You think it's bad now? Wait till October.
Well, that's kind of depressing. I got to tell you, I'm not happy about this year at all.
I know. Well, I know. That's what I live with every day. I live with the knowledge of what's going on, and I realize that I can't do anything at 80 years old. All I can actually do is sound the warning.
Yeah.
Because I know what's coming. I know that something terrible is coming in October. So all I can do is do radio and tell the people I have no idea what's going to happen. I just know the whole entire earth is going to be involved. The whole earth is going to be involved in it. Ophiuchus Scorpio. Scorpions are deadly, and the god over Scorpio is Mars. So we're talking about a deadly war. Some kind of a horrible incident is going to happen for the whole earth in October. Well, that's it. That's all I can tell you.
Maybe they released a real bioweapon.
Say it again?
I say maybe they'll release the real bioweapon.
Yeah, well, you're right.
Listen, it's not that far-fetched. I mean, when you think about it, with open borders, the way that we have, and I hope I'm not offending anyone, but I'm going to tell you something.
Say it like it is, brother.
What is going to prevent them from coming into this country with smallpox or something else? And our airport, come on, it's the TSA, okay? It's really not that hard to walk right past them. And then they can go to a city, spend about 10, 15, 20 minutes there at a Starbucks, hop a plane, go to another city, hop a plane, go to another city, hop a plane, go to another one. Exactly how are we going to find them? How are we going to know what they're even doing? And within a matter of days, this stuff could get so bad, so fast, and we're not addressing the problem.
And the problem is Ophiuchus Scorpio. God of war, Mars.
It's not going away tonight, I'm telling you.
Oh, it's not going away at all. It's just going to continue to get worse until October. And October is not that far from now.
When October is over, can you tell us anything about that?
Yes, when it's over, it's going to take 1 year and 6 months to get back to normal living. And when it's over, from this October to the next October is a year. Then add 6 months more to that, and then it's going to get back to normal. Everything will settle down.
So
But
where are
I'm
we
worried
safe?
about this October to next October because there's a whole year of something that's going to be terrible. A whole year of it. And finally, the American people will finally get their head out of their ass and wake up and find out what's been going on since 1945, and they'll finally figure out what the Knights Templars were and who the Knights of Malta are, and find out the Jesuit operation out of the Vatican, and finally figure out why John F. Kennedy was assassinated. You're going to finally find out all of that shit real soon. Although this started back with the killing of Kennedy. And now it's going to kill the whole country. And when this country goes, the whole world is going to go with it. Because if America gets a cold, everybody else gets TB and dies. Why? Because we, the USA, feeds the world. We feed the earth. We feed China rice. We're feeding rice and food to Russia. We're feeding the whole world. We're feeding everyone. We're financing them. We send them guns. We send them materials. We're sending them ammunition so that they can come here and kill us. We are a mentally deranged country with people who are criminals, who are mentally deranged in power, and they have in mind to destroy this country forever. And we Americans can't do nothing about it because we're ignorant, ill-informed, and unread. So we're just plain old stupid, and we're ignorant, and there's nothing we can do about it. But me, I'm 80 years old. I've been talking about this for a long, long time.
Yeah, now people are finally seeing it come forward. And this is what I was
That's right.
saying. All these things that used to be conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Not
It's
no
all
more.
silly ass conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now you find out it wasn't a theory. I was a conspiracy analyst, not theorist. I was analyzing the situation. All you need to do is go to school and get an education and earn a diploma and learn how to read and write and speak and think. And that's why America has been told what to think, but not how to think. And that's why we are watching Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and the government and our state governments, and we're wearing our masks. And the Russians, the communists in Russia used to call the Russian people, it was V.I. Lenin. I think it was V.I. Lenin who was heading the revolution in Russia. He used to call the Russian people useful idiots because they were useful, because V.I. Lenin, the head of the Communist Party, needed all the people of Russia to join the Russian communist system. Well, finally, the useful idiots have done that. That's what they're doing now. They're wearing their masks. They stay home. They don't do anything they're told not to do. And you want to follow what the government tells you because that's what the communists want. They want you not to think on your own, but to do what you're told to do. And that's what's going on today is we're doing what we've been told to do. Put your mask on, stay at home, keep your mouth shut, and don't talk to anybody. It's all a conspiracy theory. No, it's a conspiracy analyst. I'm analyzing what's going on. I've watched it happen in the past. I'm seeing it happening now, and I know it's coming in October. So, what else can I tell you? But we've got to get ready. It's coming. Complete shutdown of America. And boy, is it going to be horrible.
Yeah, I had a military guy. He's not my family, but he's in a friend's family. And he had said that at some point there's going to be, you're going to see military on the streets, but they're going to be there to protect the people, he said. And that you better get what you need now because at some point you're not going to be able to. So
Well,
exactly
that's our
correct.
job, and I mean you have to understand. Like when we served, we take an oath, against foreign or domestic, and
Why did they put that word "and domestic" in there?
or domestic.
Because they knew.
Why did they put that in there for you
Because
to
they
take an oath or domestic?
Well, you have to remember the Navy's been around since 1777 in the 1700s, late 1700s,
Yes.
and so that was put in there, and when they first came out, and that was because I think that the forefathers knew that tyrannical governments happen. They knew that
That's
from
exactly correct. You're right.
so. And I think that we have that, but for the veterans, it's one
The
of those.
veterans have not been told anything. They're told what to do, follow orders, keep your mouth shut, and
Chain of
follow
command.
orders.
It
And
is.
so
It's a
that's
chain
what
of
they're
command.
doing today. We're following orders.
Yeah.
Put your mask on, keep your mouth shut, and stay at least 6 foot away from other humans. Isolate yourself away from other humans. Put your mask on, stay home, and shut up. And maybe the communist takeover of the world can happen because we will have killed ourselves. We will have committed suicide. That's what we're doing now, is committing suicide.
I
But
agree.
me, I don't care because I'm 80 years old and happily I'm not going to be here much longer. Maybe I'll be gone. Maybe God will let me go. After 60 years of telling people what's coming, maybe God will let me go. And it's going to be incredible what we're going to see happening to America and to the world after October. And the worst part is that at the end of the October, it's going to be another October. That's a whole year, and then 6 months. So it's going to be a year and 6 months after October. Everything will get back to normal. And then when it gets back to normal, everything on the earth will be digitized. Everything will be digitized. Television will be digitized. Radio will be digitized. And with digital, we know that you can put on television anything you want. You can have people standing here talking to you, and it's all digital. It's all being worked on by somebody. It's incredible what's coming down the tubes. I don't want to be here any longer. I want to leave. I don't want to be here any longer. I want to be a free American. And see, you're not an American. You're living in the United States, not the United States of America. There's a big difference. The United States of America is the 48 lower states plus about 3 more. Alaska, Hawaii, and Israel. It's called the state of Florida, the state of New York, the state of Texas, and the state of Israel. So Israel is one of our federated states, and that's why we send money and food to Israel and give her all the instruments and all the guns and everything they need to defend themselves in the Middle East. Why? Because they represent us, the U.S. in Israel represents the United States. But what people don't realize is that the United States of America was done away with in 1868. It was officially done away with. We're no longer called by international organizations. We're no longer referred to as the United States of America. We're not united. We had a civil war, so we're not united.
Yeah.
And so we had a civil war in 1860. They killed the president and brought on a civil war so that in 1868, when the Civil War was finally over, the people who ran this country, the great rubber barons and the railroad people who built our railroad, they decided that we are no longer going to be called the United States of America. So they called us today in 1868. They set up a corporation. It's called the United States Corporation. And therefore, we as the United States citizens, we are U.S. citizens. You're not an American. What you don't know is you do not have access to the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, or the Declaration of Independence. We have two totally different, separate constitutions. There's a Constitution for, and there's a Constitution of. Of and for don't mean the same thing in a federal court. Of means one thing, for means another. So today we are the United States citizens. We are U.S. citizens, means we don't have any rights. We're not Americans. We're U.S. citizens, which means that we are employees of a foreign corporation called the United States Corporation. Oh, God, the people have no idea how far gone America really is. They're going to find out real soon. They're going to find out.
Yeah, it makes total sense too. I mean, because you could see in Seattle, the people there had no rights when
They have no rights, period.
the
Because
gangs came in.
They're called U.S. citizens, not the United States of America. The Federal Reserve and the Internal Revenue. Think about, why do they call it internal revenue? Because it's operating inside of something. Well, there's something the Federal Reserve is operating inside of is a corporation. That's why it's called the internal revenue, not external. And the Internal Revenue and the Federal Reserve, when it was founded, long time ago, when it was officially founded as the Federal Reserve, Internal Revenue was founded. Nobody seems to know where its corporate offices were when it was first founded. It was founded in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was the home of the Federal Reserve and the Internal Revenue. Why Puerto Rico? Pirates of the Caribbean. They were the pirates of the Caribbean. That's why Disney, who knew all about this stuff, that's why he has a Pirates of the Caribbean at Disneyland, because the Federal Reserve comes from the Pirates of the Caribbean. And that's why the Federal Reserve and the Internal Revenue were founded in Puerto Rico. That's a big story, and most people have never heard it. I've heard it for years. I've been trying to tell people about it, but nobody understands what I'm talking about. I'm just an old man babbling away, and that's why I want to leave this world, because I know what's coming. I know how they're doing it. I know who they are. It's the Knights of Malta. You have no idea about what's going on with the Knights of Malta and the Knights Templars. They are the knights inside the Vatican, the Federal Reserve, and that's who prints your money as the Vatican. It's an incredible story, but it requires Americans to wake up and hear the whole story. And unfortunately, now they're not going to hear the whole story, because I'm not going to be here much longer. Thank God. I'll be gone.
Well, we'd like you to stick around, but I get it. My dad's 92, and he says it too. He says, I've seen all this. It's this isn't going to end well, and he too. I think he feels the same way.
Yep.
I always said, if it's going to happen, let it happen while I'm young enough to be a part of it and deal with it. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm pushing 50 myself, and it probably sounds young to some. But
wait till you hit 80, and you're in a full, total, 100% Soviet Union.
Oh, man.
It's called the Novus Ordo Seclorum, the New Order of the World. There's going to come a new order. America will not be a part of it. It's going to be a new order you're going to live under. That's why Hitler was going around Europe destroying peoples and governments and armies. Hitler was doing all that because he talked about a new world order.
Yeah.
So Hitler was used to destroy Europe, and Europe is finally gone. It's over. It's being flooded over with Islamic world. It's being flooded into Europe to take over Europe and destroy it. And eventually it's going to happen in America, and America is going to be flooded over and destroyed also. So it's a very interesting operation going on the whole world scene. But most people have never heard any of this. They have not studied it. I've studied it for 60 years. I know exactly what's going on. And I started talking about it back in 1959 to small groups in Los Angeles. But nobody was really listening, except for a few. And they couldn't do anything because they were like me, poor and broke. But just because I'm poor and broke does not mean I'm stupid. I understood exactly what was happening and who was doing it and why. So I made it my business to devote my whole life to talking to people about what was coming. Well, now I don't have to because it's now here. And now the people are going to wake up and find out what Jordan was right. Something terrible is coming on the earth. And nobody was listening. But now they'll listen. Now the people of this world will listen. But they're going to wake up one day, and they tell me, I hear it all the time because I do radio every day. A lot of people have said to me, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I say, yes, it's a train coming, stupid. Yeah, it's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a train coming.
Yeah.
Do you honestly think that all the veterans, because I can tell you, with my numerous friends around here and everything, and do you really think that we're going to allow ourselves to be taken over? Because I can assure you it's not going to happen.
Well, that's good to hear.
I mean, it's just not going to happen. Most of us are armed and understand that. We're pro Second Amendment, pro Bill of Rights. Listen, we knew there was a problem when these idiots started talking about printing and making a $3 trillion platinum coin. Now, platinum is just above silver. It's below palladium and gold, and below rhodium, and below everything else. I mean,
how many people have wondered why is gold golden and why is silver silver? Why? Because of the sun and the moon. The sun is golden and the moon is silver. Silver and gold matches the sun and the moon. It's the whole world's operation. It's a worldwide operation on the sun and the moon, gold and silver. It's an extraordinary story, and you have to understand, you have to read and study astrotheology. Most people never heard of astrotheology, but it's very there. It's right there for you. If you want to look, you'll find it. And I've been talking about astrotheology for 60 years, and I got to tell you, I'm tired, I'm old, and I'm depressed, tired, and old. I'm what they call a manic depressant, meaning I have done all I can do to try and help my world that I live in. Unfortunately, the people have been watching Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck so long they have no idea what the real truth is and what the studios are and who Disney was. They don't know about Disney Studios. They have no idea what Walt Disney Television is, what the networks ABC, CBS, and NBC are, where the money came from to start those big operations. Americans have no idea in the world what's going on. I've known it for many years. So that's that, and that's too bad, but that's the name of the tune.
Jordan, I think when you mentioned the digital, and I've said this in the past that the reason they want to put everything digital is because then they could just flip a switch and it's over.
That's right.
Yeah.
You get that right. That's it, precisely right.
Yeah, and
because people like you, they're not going to have to sue. They're not going to have to send out people to arrest you. They're not going to have to do anything like that. The people who are running this communist overthrow of America are not going to have to bother themselves at all with the likes of you. All they got to do is just press a button and they will delete your number. They will delete your number, your digital number, and now you have no bank account, you have no savings, no credit cards, nothing. It's been deleted. So now you can go wherever you want if you've got plenty of money behind you, like Bill Gates. You can go wherever you want in the world and do whatever you want to do as long as you don't use any money because you have no money. You can buy and sell in the marketplace if you got cash, but you don't have any cash. It's all digital. So they can shut you down instantly overnight by just revoking your corporate number.
Yeah, they went,
Yes.
the phones, well, let's go to the cell phones and get off the landlines and get everything digital. Let's get the TVs digital. Let's everything, the books. A lot of
You're
them are
right.
digital now.
I
Yeah.
told you that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And the reason why is they want to make everything on the earth digital so they can shut it down with a flip of a switch. They don't have to sue you or send the cops out to arrest you. They just flip the switch and you are dead forever. You cannot buy or sell without a mark of the beast.
Mark of the Beast.
It's
Yeah.
been around for a long time, and Americans are going to wake up and find out what's going on finally. And now you're going to find out who Donald Trump really is and what he's been doing for a long time you didn't know nothing about. Now you see why they hate Trump is because he knows exactly what I know. But he is in a position to damn well do something about it. And he's doing it right now. Why do you think he took over the Federal Reserve? Donald Trump took over the Federal Reserve about a month ago and made it part of the U.S. government because it actually, in fact, has nothing to do. It had nothing to do with the Federal Reserve, has nothing to do with the U.S. government at all. It's financed, organized, and directed by the same people who are telling you to put your mask on, shut your mouth, and stay home, and we hope you die. That's what's going on.
I was kind of hoping he took over the Federal Reserve after they came up with the bright idea to platinum that coin.
Oh, yeah, no, well, he took over the Federal Reserve because he did not want America subverted to world communism. But the American people are Democrats. And see, that's why you have the riots in the street. They're called demonstrations.
Yeah.
The demonstrations are people rising up in the streets and burning cars, busting windows. And nobody is answering the question, where are the people getting the bricks to bust windows? Well, we know that there's a company that's been supplying large groups of bricks in every city out on the street. There's piles of bricks are being dumped on the streets of the big cities. Why? Because the communists know that very soon there's going to be a communist revolution. And when the revolution comes, they're going to need bricks to bust windows and bust doors down. And so the people are turning cars over and busting windows and burning down businesses because they are useful idiots. They don't have a brain in the world. They don't know what's going on. They're just doing what they are told to do. And they're told and paid money to go out and riot.
That's right. That's right. Hey, guys, hang on. Forget, folks, without you, there absolutely is no us. And we wouldn't want that to happen. So please help us out. You can do so by going to the website. There's a donate button there. Every little bit helps keep us on the air, pay the bills, and continue to do what we do. So with that, let's get back to it, gentlemen. We are back. And, Jordan, this is probably one of the first steps to one of the actually first few steps to the communist takeover is obviously erasing the history as well. And that's
right.
what they're working on now, aren't they?
That's right. That's exactly right. They're working on our history. Let's make sure we don't have a history so that we will end up not knowing who we are or how we got where we are or what's going on because we'll be ignorant, stupid, ill-informed, unread, and downright dim-witted. And so that's who we are as Americans. We don't know from nothing. We don't understand nothing. And we're not going to be allowed to know nothing. We're going to be ushered into a new world order. It's on the back of your dollar bill. It has to be, it's going to be connected to the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill. As on the top of it, it says Novus Ordo Seclorum. On the bottom of the pyramid is Novus Ordo Seclorum, which is Novus is a novice, which is new. Ordo is a new order. Seclorium is where we get the word secular, of the world. You have secular education, secular job. So it's called Novus Ordo Seclorum, and that means a new world order. And so it's no longer going to be American world order. We're not going to be on the top as we've been from the beginning. It's going to be a new world order on which we will be on the bottom, because you can't have a new world order unless you get rid of the old world order. So that's what's happening now, is we're getting rid of the old world order called America, and which we've fed and clothed the whole world. We're feeding China rice. We're feeding food to the whole world. We do it every day. We're feeding the whole world. We're financing all the big institutions of the world are being financed out of America. And so, happily, we are being destroyed from within. As we've said, our enemies are within. That's why it's called the Internal Revenue. It's really an extraordinary story, a betrayal of the American project, the American people. And that was what I would really like to hear about, is what I've often wondered, what are the Joint Chiefs of Staff doing? They talk about protecting the American people. Well, what in the hell have the people at the top, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, what have they done to protect the American people? What have they done? So far, I haven't heard from them. I haven't seen them. They haven't done anything. They're not doing nothing. They're just collecting their big checks and staying home with their mask on. They're not doing anything to protect our public, our republic called the United States of America.
That's right.
So it's really interesting looking at the Joint Chiefs of Staff doing nothing as America. The American Republic is being destroyed in front of you. And the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the military of America are not doing anything. They're lazy, useless, and just expecting to get their big checks every month, but they're not doing anything to help us.
That's
and
right.
they
They're
are
not
the
allowed.
heads of the military.
But they're not allowed. I mean, you have to understand, Congress is the one who authorizes whether we're allowed to use military force, and we're not really allowed to go in against domestic unless we're forced to. But here's the thing, they're the ones. President Trump has a force that he can use up to 50,000 at any time without their permission. Now, when he went ahead and made the strikes against Iran, and he did that,
Yeah.
okay, they were mad. They were mad about it, and then they tried to say, basically, from now on, you have to inform us before you do anything. It's the bottom line is they're the ones tying the hands. They're the ones tying it, because Congress has to authorize the use, and then the Senate would go for it. I don't think the Senate, if there was a need for it, they're gonna go right along with it. But the upper house and lower house together jointly make the decisions to do that.
Yeah. That's
So
wonderful. That's wonderful. That tells you something about the Congress. That should tell you something about Obama and Hillary Clinton. Should tell you something about the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is a communist party. It's the overthrow of the United States. That's why all communist countries are referred to legally as the People's Democratic Republic. The People's Democratic Republic of China is called the People's Democratic Republic of North Korea. The People's Democratic Republic of Cuba. It's always a communist country called the People's Democratic Republic. It's a democratic republic, coming from the word demosocracy, democratic. Demo in ancient Greek means a mob. So that's what we have now is mob rule. It's called a demonstration. Demo means mob in the ancient Greek. So that's why we have a demonstration. The demonstration, people turning cars over, burning buildings, burning out businesses, and beating up everybody over the head with billy clubs and 2x4s. That's the rule of the mob. It's a demonstration, a democracy. And so that's who the Democrats are. Crat means a rule of, and demo is a mob. Democrat means the rule of a mob. Mob rule. I would rather have the mob rule us. I'd rather have the mafia rule us. At least it keeps it organized. Today we are a democratic society, not a republic. We used to be a republic. Now we are a democratic society, which means that we no longer have our country. We no longer have a Bill of Rights or any protection under law. We have no laws to protect us from anything. We are a democracy. Whatever it is that people vote for, that's what we get. So if you want Obama, you vote for him. He comes in and he does whatever the hell he pleases to do, any damn time he pleases to do it. Why? Because he doesn't have to follow any laws. There are no laws. It's a democracy. It's a mob rule. And so that's what's going on here. It's mob rule.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It is. And, certainly there's this little order that goes where, Congress has to authorize this and that, and the president can only do so much.
I think they deorganized Congress and threw them all into jail.
Oh, me too. And I think what it comes down to is when they don't do their job, we, the people, have the right to do it for them.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. We have the right to do it for them.
Because after all, they're employed by us. And, but it doesn't seem that way. They're the only ones that cannot do their job and still collect a paycheck. It's amazing.
You're right. And that's what's happening is they're not doing anything. They're just sitting by and letting America go full-on blown communist. They don't care.
That's
because
right.
they need the people's vote. So they need your vote, and they know what the people want. The people want to do whatever they please to do. So you let them do anything they want.
Yeah.
Let them out in the street,
Jordan,
kill each other.
If they get
make
their
sure
way,
they got plenty of guns. Make sure they got plenty of knives and guns, and watch them overthrow the United States of America.
If they get their way, they won't need our vote. They'll have every dead person from every cemetery voting anyways. So
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Hey, let's get a call in here. We got Jessica. Jessica, welcome aboard.
Hello, hi.
Hi,
everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Jess.
Hi, Miss
How you
Ella.
doing?
Do you have something for us, Jessica? Would you like to ask a question, or what are you calling for?
Well, there's a few things I would like to first say is that I just found out in Minneapolis that one bill that they wanted to get rid of the police, it actually went through. And I want to say it's in August that there's going to be no police in Minneapolis. So my theory will be the Soros, I call it Democrats, are going to try to start either a civil war / revolution. It's going to probably take us back into that.
I don't think you're going to
there,
have to do that because we said a few minutes ago it's coming. We're going to have a civil war in America. And it will be the Americans for freedom against the Democrats, the democracy. We've had enough of democracy and Democrats. And so somewhere along the line, we're going to depend our Constitution and our country is going to depend on the militia, the men who will stand and fight against the tyranny.
Right. And I was going to say that I know a lot of people, especially my family, who are veterans that are part of the militia. I know many of my buddies who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and they're all ready. They're ready for it because they took that oath.
I'm ready for it too. I've been ready for it for a long time.
But the thing
I'm
is,
ready too.
okay, my question is, when this happens, will it happen way before the election? Does that mean that President Trump will do a martial law? Or how do you think this is going to plan out?
I think he's going to have to bring in some kind of martial law to put the revolution, the communist revolution, down. I mean, I heard him say more than once that America will no longer going to be a socialist country like the Soviet Union. We have socialist networks here in America. We have Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. These are all social networks, like the USSR, the Union of Soviet Socialist Networks. So that's what we are. We're becoming a Union of Soviet Socialists. That's what we are. We got social networks, social phones, social connections, and make sure you keep your social distance from each other. So you stay 6 foot away from other humans. Stay as far away from other humans as you can. You need to put your mask on and do what we tell you to do, and then you will be fine. You just do what we tell you to do, and your country will be gone. Your freedoms are gone. Your whole world is gone. But at least you'll be all right. You'll be a socialist, and you'll be under the New World Order. Incredible crap that's happening right in front of us, and the American people know nothing about it. Like
And
you
some
said,
choose
the
to look.
Congress has never done a thing.
And some choose to look the other way. They put their head in the sand. Yeah.
Put your mask on. Put your mask on and look the other way and keep your mouth shut.
That's right.
And the end will come quickly. And the end was coming quick.
You know, what else you got,
So
Jessica?
then, okay.
Also add that, as far as Trump's concerned, if October is as big as you say it could be, then maybe he doesn't, there is no election. Maybe he just stays.
Yeah, maybe there won't be any election. Because I know Ophiuchus Scorpio. The whole earth is going to move. The whole earth is going to move into Scorpio. Scorpio is represented by the symbol of a scorpion. Scorpions are deadly. And the exalted god of Scorpio is Mars. Mars is the god of war. So we have a god of war coming on the earth in October with Scorpio, a deadly scorpions. And so what we're looking at is a deadly war that's coming. And God help the human race when it gets here, because it's going to be incredible. I don't know if it's going to be a world war, if a comet is going to hit the earth. I don't know what it is. All I know is that we're going to face for the first time on the earth Ophiuchus Scorpio with Mars, the god of war. I don't know what it implies. I don't know what it means. I just know whatever it is going to be big, and we're going to go through it whether you like it or not. That's it.
Okay. Well,
Well,
I can't say I'm looking forward to it, but I'm kind of looking forward to October to see what's coming. I'm kind of sick in the head like that, I guess.
That's okay. Just stick around. Whatever's coming in October, you'll find out about it real soon.
Well, hey, I always say I want it to be quick. When it's when it comes to my time, I like it to be quick. So maybe a comment would just be quick enough. Or
I hope so. Yeah. Well, we'll find out.
We will. Hey, I bet.
Whatever it is coming. So all you got to do is stay alive to see it come.
I'm kind of expecting a financial crash. That's another thing on the list that I think, a possibility too. That would certainly affect the world.
Yeah, and watch what's going to happen to the whole world when they find out there's no food being reproduced. No food, nowhere. The markets are shut down. There are no markets. There is no food. There is no money. You got, thank God, at least you got a mask and you can stay home and stay out of the way and keep your distance. Keep your mask on. Keep your mask on because you're going to die some horrible, terrible disease unless you go to a hospital and see the place is empty. Then you're going to know something's up and we've been lied to. We're being lied to by our government. We're being lied to by the politicians. We're just being lied to about everything around the world. Americans are the most ignorant, ill-informed, and unread people on the earth.
Hey ho ho, hee hee ha ha, to the funny farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's us.
That's
That's us.
Now, did-
I have finally
No.
quit. Done. My mind is done.
I'm telling you, I'm losing my mind too with all this stuff because I'm so sick. That's why I tell you, I need to go 2 weeks. I want to, maybe longer, maybe good for good. Go up into the mountains and just, I don't know, be that old man with the long beard and the hell with it all,
I'm cracking a pill open.
All right. Jessica, anything else?
no, that is it. And thank you for letting me chime in and ask my questions.
Absolutely. Peace to you. I hope everything stays peaceful in your neck of the
Keep in
woods.
mind, I've been telling you the world this kind of information since 1959. That's 60 years ago. And this December will be exactly 60 years. So I've been talking for 60 years and I'm tired, I'm old, I'm tired, I don't see well. My hearing is bad, so I don't hear very well, I don't see very well. But I've done what I could to do the best I could with nothing. While other people are on skateboards and having fun, I was doing nothing but studying. And I was reading and photocopying and documenting what was coming on the earth. And I knew about it a long time ago, 60 years ago. So just keep in mind, most people have not studied what I have for 60 minutes, much less 60 years. And that's why they call me a conspiracy theorist. I'm not a theorist. I'm a conspiracy analyst. I'm analyzing the situation, looking at the facts and just telling the people, in fact, what's going on. There's a communist revolution coming in America, and the American people love it. They can't get enough of Obama. They just love Obama. They just love Hillary Clinton, who uses communist terms every day. In their speech, they talk about world communism. Most people don't know what communism teaches or where it comes from or what it's all about. They have no idea in the world. Just keep in mind that all roads lead to Rome. Why? Because the Holy Father in Rome is a holy father. Why? Because he speaks for God. So he is a Roman godfather. Get my meaning? He is a godfather. And that's why you have in the mafia a godfather. Because the Holy Pope is a holy father who speaks for God. He's a godfather. Incredible stuff. I suggest it's absolutely outrageous.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, Jessica, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night, you guys.
All
I'll
right, Jess.
keep listening.
All
Thank you.
right. Thank you. You
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Jessica.
night.
You know, Angel would love sometimes she should talk with Jordan because the way they express the words and they bring the meaning out those words. I think that would be just incredible. Anyways, we got another call here. 845 area code, New York. You're up. Who do we have?
Hey, Michael, it's Henry.
Hi,
I
Henry.
figured I'd call in when Jessica calls in.
Okay.
Anyway, being a Scorpio, yeah, I think that's great that there's a scorpionic thing going on. Scorpios know that you have to destroy the old to, for the phoenix to rise out of the ashes.
That's right.
And
have to
but
destroy
yeah, I mean,
the old before you have a new.
Yeah.
So you can't
And
have
yeah,
a new world order unless you destroy the old world order. And that's what they're doing right now. They're destroying the United States of America, the land of freedom and liberty for the world. All over the world are watching us.
Yeah,
They're
I know,
watching
and things
the United States being destroyed.
Yeah, we have lived under a lot of hypocrisy in this world. I remember when I was a
God.
kid. I was 15 years old. My parents took me down in New York City to Manny's Music. They bought me a top-of-the-line guitar. We drove out. I got to see some street hookers. 15-year-old kid with a new guitar.
Yeah.
And we had a nice dinner. Some friends came over. They were in town with the circus, and they were playing Ed Sullivan the next night. And I was thinking outside. We lived across the street from our parish church, and outside the rectory was a statue of Thaddeus Kosciuszko. It was actually a sister statue of the one that sits at West Point.
Yep.
And I couldn't help looking in the news because they're tearing down statues of Washington and Jefferson, and of course Kosciuszko was very good friends with Jefferson. But he always used to say to Jefferson, you're a hypocrite. You have slaves and you talk about freedom. And little do the people know who vandalized the statue. Kosciuszko came over here to fight in the revolution. He tried to enlist with the Polish army, and they didn't want him, so he came over here. And of course, he was an engineer, and so he designed the fortifications at West Point. He designed the fortifications at the Battle of Saratoga. Then he went back to Poland to fight the Russians who were taking over, the Polish lands. And I think he got shot and thrown in prison for a couple of years by the Tsarina Catherine, and then her son let him out, and he gave him a nice coat when he left. He came back to the U.S., and he said to Jefferson, and he actually gave the coat to Jefferson, and it's the coat that Jefferson's wearing, his statue in the Jefferson Monument in Washington, And he says, listen, you guys owe me some money and some lands in Ohio for all my work during the Revolutionary War, but I don't want it. I want you to take that stuff and buy a bunch of slaves and some land for them to work, But he didn't mean it in the way it sounds. He wanted them to buy a bunch of slaves to free and give them land to live on, And of course, the courts came in and
put an end to that.
Yeah, and they stopped it from happening. Who knows what happened to the money? But so here's a guy that wanted to buy, take it, everything he was owed for fighting in the Revolutionary War and buy and free slaves, and they vandalized a statue in Washington D.C. And I thought it was kind of ironic.
Yeah.
Almost a real Polish joke.
That should be the motto of Congress. What happened to the money?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So
it's
anyway,
incredible.
so maybe something good will come of things, But even if it doesn't, we got to get at it. We've been stuck in this, hypocrisy for such a long time.
You're right. We've been looking at it
gotta,
coming for a
gotta
long,
change one way or
long
another.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. Nothing.
Well, it's nice. I
And
appreciate it.
Riscala, I want to say one thing. They've had conductive rubber. I was listening to your show the other night. I know they've had conductive rubber around since the 50s. Baldwin Piano and Organ used to use it as a bus bar in their organs, and the contact would hit the conductive rubber and transmit the signal.
This was a piece of hose that was like looked like heater hose out of a car.
Uh-huh.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go.
Okay. Well,
8
Jordan,
o'clock.
listen, thank you so much for being here tonight. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely.
And maybe
Hey,
we could do it again another time.
absolutely. And if your show, you get your show started, please let me know. Send me a link
Yeah,
and
I
I'll
got to
share.
do that right now. That's why I have to leave.
Okay. Well,
Good luck.
thank you.
Okay.
All
Talk to
right,
you later.
sir.
Bye
All right.
bye.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
one. Bye-bye. Thank
And
you.
my website is jordanmaxwellshow.com.
All right. Okay.
jordanmaxwellshow.com. Maybe you could put that up for people to click on and go to my website, Jordan Maxwell Show.
I will do that.
Remember to put the word show in, because many people are using my name on the web to make money. But it has nothing to do with me. I only have one site, and it's called jordanmaxwellshow.com.
Okay, I got it written down. Yes, sir. JordanMaxwellShow.com. I'll definitely get that linked up. Thank you. And you have a great weekend.
And bye-bye.
All right, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. There he goes, folks. Jordan Maxwell, which was a surprise tonight because he actually didn't get back to me when I... WCET-FM has just released the app. So now you can take WCET Radio everywhere you go. Just go to the Google Play Store and search WCET-FM. That's WCET space FM and install it. Then it's ready to go. Oh, and did I mention it's free? Well, it is. WCET-FM. We got the app. Hey everyone, thanks for listening, and we'll look forward to seeing what comes in October, right? Listen, do us a favor so we can continue to bring you the best guests with the best shows, the best information. Hit that donate button over on WCETFM.com. That's WCETFM.com. Leave the www out of it. For some reason, Google's goofing with that. So WCETFM.com. Hit the donate button. Subscribe. We've been here doing this now for almost 13 years. And with your help, we can make it 14, 15, 20. Let's do this, folks. And thank you so much. And as I always say, keep your eyes posted to the sky and keep your ears posted to this broadcast. Make sure you stay informed with our newsletter. That's right, the WCET-FM newsletter. You can sign up for it by going to WCETFM.com and, sign up for the newsletter. It's right there on the website. Can't miss it. Have at it, folks. This way you'll stay informed and we can inform others. And don't forget to catch us on all our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We're all over the place, LinkedIn, Pinterest, you name it, Tumblr, we're on them all. Go check us out, WCET-FM, or you could check out Michael Vera. So either or, you'll find me on social media. Thanks again for listening, folks. Spread the word. Spread this link as far and wide as you possibly can. And make sure you tune in Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern, right here on WCETFM.com. Late night in the Midlands, we cover everything.